So on election night, I thought that
Talk about why soybean in particular is.
Oh, Iowa is finding out. We all remember Iowa from election night.
When you look at, here in Iowa, you have corn, soybeans.
Roar back Trump big time. Now, farmers say bankruptcies are climbing and export markets are sharp. Today, I'm reacting and we are checking the receipts with free data. Let's get into it. Quick note, this is a transformative commentary. I will show short clips, pause often, and add context, fact-checking, and on-screen receipts. All creators are credited in the description.
So on election night, I thought that there were a number of states that would see what happened in the past and make a wise decision. One of those states that I thought would be wise would be Iowa. But on election night, I was soon brought to reality. Only 5 counties of the entire state voted for Kamala Harris. Donald Trump won overwhelmingly in the state of Iowa. But now, you're starting to see an increasing number of bankruptcies in that state.
Strong claim. Bankrupts back on the lies, almost at COVID level. Raw reading. Let's separate the emotion from the evidence. Chapter 12 feelings are really major of farmers' distress, but spikes can look dramatic quarter to quarter. We will put the trend over years in a bit.
More of America's family farms are going bankrupt. Researchers at the University of Arkansas finding that more than 250 farms filed for Chapter 12 bankruptcy between April 2024 and this March, marking a drastic increase in financial distress. According to the data, nearly 90 farms filed for bankruptcy in the first quarter of this year, almost double the number from the same quarter in 2024.
That jump could be accurate for the window they are citing, but I want a fair picture. Is it a national wave or truly concentrated in lower? And is it back to COVID peak level or just higher than last year? There is also a bold claim that lower GDP shrank more than 6% this year. That will be huge. We will verify with BEA state data. Quarterly moves can be noisy, especially with commodity swings.
Talk about why soybean in particular is so vulnerable to these duties.
I mean, China is our largest purchaser, and Brazil is a very good competitor in soybeans. And it wouldn't, if China wants to make the switch to Brazil, they can, and they can move that business down there.
Oh, Iowa is finding out. We all remember Iowa from election night, where only 5 counties voted blue. And the good people have gotten exactly what they voted for, and now leading America in farmer bankruptcies. You know, farmer bankruptcies that hadn't been this high since the first Trump administration were trending down during the Biden administration. These people are still so delusional that Kim Reynolds, the governor of Iowa, still came out and said, we're a Trump country, that we stand with the president despite the tariffs.
Same core narrative, more bankruptcy, still pro-tariff rhetoric, and an argument that voters are choosing pain. I get the frustration, but cohesion matters. When financing costs double, margin get crushed even with the same crop price. Add retaliatory tariff that push soy and pork buyers to Brazil or elsewhere, and the pressure compounds. The key is how much is late this trade, this label, at fault in lower specifically. We will look at indicators.
When you look at, here in Iowa, you have corn, soybeans, you have hogs and pork that is exported overseas. And from the first Trump administration, the trade war, there were tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars in losses for most of the farmers across here, the Midwest. And there is concern about what the end game is for President Trump in this trade war. And
this is the part you feel on the ground, uncertainty. Trade is relationship plus reliability. When a buyer pivots to Brazil for soya, often for months or years, it's not a switch you flip back. Even if tariffs roll off, relationship and logistics can keep the news path in a press. Retaliation is trade 101. You tariff metal. I hit your ag, pork, and soy you took really punched in a pre-allowance. That doesn't mean every farm loses, but uncertainty raises risk premium, widen bases, and can disrupt cash flow precisely when rates are higher.
If China wants to make the switch to Brazil, they can, and they can move that business down there. And every time you have these ripple effects in the trade market, it like trade is built on relationships, and so these relationships get damaged every time one of these things happens, and all the whiplash does no favors in trying to build or maintain any of these relationships.
Exactly. China's the world buyer for soy. Brazil scaled acreage, improved logistics, and tightened its grip. Those relationships plus CIF prices and reliability mean the United States can't just snap back shares on command. This is why policy shocks linger beyond the headline window. Here's the longer trend. Filings surged around 2019 and 2020, eased and per the latest report ticked up again in late 2024, early 2025. The quarter jump liners up with those creeps. Is lower the top state YTD? Some analyzers say yes for early 2025, but always verify the latest quarter and per capita context. Exports are the lifeblood for soy and pork. After 2019, the United States lost share in China to Brazil. Some recovery happened later, but not fully to pre-2018 patterns. For pork, retaliatory hits added friction right as costs rose. Financing costs doubled from 2021 levels. If your revenue is volatile and your costs are sticky, higher interest turn a survivable year into break-even or worse. That's how you end up with more distressed feelings even when top line's price don't look catastrophic. So, do tariffs matter? Yes, especially for soy and pork relationship with China and others. Are they the only thing? No. Let's input cost and labor enforcement and really wait in lower that stack seems heavy enough to push more family farms toward distress, consistent with the dictator's core claim. But let's avoid caricature of voters. Many farmers made a strategic bet on promise of leverage abroad and pay the domestic cost. The question isn't who to blame. It's how to protect farm businesses when policy turn the chessboard. If tariffs are tool predictability and cushioning are the safety net, farmers can plan around hard traps, but they need the rules early, the relief on time, and really help keeping customer. If you farm in lower or sell into soy, pork, or ethanol, what changed for you? Did your buyer shift? Did your basis widen? Did financing terms tighten? Drop specific in the comment. I will pin the most detailed breakdown.